At the end of March, the pipeline company Energy Transfer won a lawsuit against Greenpeace for $666 million. Energy Transfer claimed that the Standing Rock movement, the big Indigenous-led effort to stop the Dakota Access Pipeline in 2016, was actually an anti-corporate conspiracy orchestrated by Greenpeace, and the jury agreed. I was there when the verdict dropped. Can I ask what you thought about all of this?
One of the worst First Amendment decisions I've ever seen. I've been practicing law for 65 years. I've never seen anything like this. It's horrible.
This is absolutely bullshit. 100%. They're treating us Native people like we're not competent enough to organize and strategize something to protect our air, land, and water. It's sick.
If you read some of the news coverage of the case, you might think there's two sides to this story. Energy Transfer, the company that built the Dakota Access Pipeline, certainly has its version.
Greenpeace maliciously misrepresented events within this community in an unrelenting attempt to stop the construction of a pipeline that had already obtained all of the necessary legal approvals. These are the facts, not the fake news of the Greenpeace propaganda machine.
And Greenpeace has its version.
This is an attempt to scare anybody involved with protests from showing up.
But there's a bigger story here of an Indigenous nation fighting for its water, an international environmental movement finding its voice, and an oil industry attempting to crush its political opposition. To tell this story, I had to dive into secretive private security documents, into the network of people and organizations behind this lawsuit, and into the courtroom at a trial closed to cameras and audio recorders. What I found changed the way I think about our justice system forever.
You see a jury, you see a judge who seems like a nice man, but it's all been pre-cooked.
They create an angle and then everybody has to follow. If you go against the angle they created, you are the radical. You know?
Greenpeace was behind it.
They had no business here.
No.
They're trying to point the finger at Greenpeace because God forbid some Indians think for themselves.
This is a life and death issue to our Indigenous people. This is a life and death issue to life itself, to water, to the river.
I'm Eileen Brown, and this season of Drilled, we present SLAPP'd, an investigative series about how far the fossil fuel industry will go to be sure their story wins.
We do this to stop the desecration of Uchimaka. We do this for the next 7 generations. We do this for the unborn children that are coming to this world. They are not allowed to make no pipelines on this land.
SLAPP'd premieres soon on a podcast provider near you.